Welcome back to NurseEdScholar, where future nurses come to learn smarter. Today, we're discussing a topic that shows up on exams, clinicals, and even code situations: acid-base balance. What is it? How does the body regulate it? And why should you care as a nurse? Let's break it down. Acid-base balance refers to the balance between acids and bases in the blood to keep the body's pH in a healthy range. The normal pH of blood is tightly regulated between 7.35 and 7.45. Below 7.35, that's acidosis. The blood is too acidic. Above 7.45, that's alkalosis. The blood is too basic or alkaline. Even a slight shift outside this range can affect organ function, oxygen delivery, and metabolism. The correct pH is critical for things like oxygen binding to hemoglobin, enzyme function, and electrical activity in the heart and nervous system. If the pH is too high or too low, cells stop functioning properly, and in severe cases, patients can die. That's why acid-base balance is a nursing priority. The body uses three main systems to maintain pH balance. First are the buffer systems, which respond immediately. The bicarbonate buffer, in particular, keeps pH stable by neutralizing excess acids or bases. Second is the respiratory system, which works in minutes to hours. The lungs control how much carbon dioxide is exhaled. Carbon dioxide is acidic, so breathing faster removes acid and raises pH. Third is the renal system, which takes hours to days. Kidneys control how much bicarbonate is reabsorbed or excreted. They're the long-term regulators of acid-base balance. Each system works together to correct imbalances. So, as a nurse, you'll often look at arterial blood gas values. The key ones are pH, which should be between 7.35 and 7.45. PaCO2, that's the partial pressure of carbon dioxide, which ranges from 35 to 45 millimeters of mercury and relates to the respiratory system, and HCO3, or bicarbonate, should be between 21 and 28 milliequivalents per liter and is tied to the metabolic system. These values help you figure out whether your patient has a respiratory or metabolic problem and whether it's acidosis or alkalosis. All right, y'all, let's go over the 4 types of acid-base imbalances. First up, we have respiratory acidosis. This one's caused by hypoventilation or slow breathing, which leads to carbon dioxide retention. Think about conditions like COPD, drug overdose, or even pneumonia. Here, the pH goes down and carbon dioxide goes up. Symptoms you might see include confusion, headache, and shallow breathing. Next, there's respiratory alkalosis. This happens when someone hyperventilates or breathes too fast, blowing off too much carbon dioxide. It can be triggered by anxiety, pain, or fever. In this case, pH goes up and carbon dioxide goes down. Folks may feel dizzy, have tingling sensations, or breathe rapidly. Now let's talk about metabolic acidosis. This is caused by either too much acid or a loss of base. Common causes are diabetic ketoacidosis, renal failure, or diarrhea. Here, both pH and bicarbonate go down. You'll notice small respirations, fatigue, and low blood pressure. Finally, metabolic alkalosis is caused by having too much base or losing acid. Think vomiting, diuretics, or overuse of antacids. In this situation, pH and bicarbonate both go up. Symptoms can include confusion, muscle cramps, and slow breathing. So when there's an imbalance, the body really tries its best to compensate. If the problem is respiratory, the kidneys step in to help out. If it's a metabolic issue, then the lungs will adjust breathing to try and fix things. Compensation can look a few different ways. If it's uncompensated, the pH is still out of range. If it's partially compensated, the pH is improving but hasn't quite made it back to normal. And if it's fully compensated, the pH is back in the normal range, but those other values might still be off. Recognizing compensation is super important because it helps you figure out if the body is fighting back. As a nurse, here's what you'll do when dealing with acid-base issues. You'll need to assess respiratory status. Look at the rate, depth, and effort of breathing. Keep a close eye on arterial blood gases and other labs. You might need to administer oxygen, IV fluids, or medications like bicarbonate or insulin, depending on the cause. Make sure you document and report trends early. And don't forget to educate your patients about breathing techniques, using their medications properly, and staying hydrated. Prompt action can really make a difference and help prevent complications like seizures, cardiac arrest, or even coma. And that's your crash course on acid-base balance. It's one of those topics that seems tough at first, but honestly, it becomes second nature with a bit of practice. If this video helped you out, please like it, share it with your classmates, and subscribe to NurseEdScholar for more tips on nursing school success. I'll see you in the next lesson.